Right. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Byt3con. With us, we have two prestigious trainers. One is Ashwin and another is Shubam. They represent Red Hunt Labs and they are delivering a training with us at Byt3con on September 17th to 19th, 2026, which is an online event. The topic name is Practical Offensive Recon for Modern Attack Surfaces. So, guys, first of all, a pleasure to have you guys on this video. So, thank you for joining
Same
us.
here. Same here. Thank you for inviting.
Yeah, thanks for invite.
Lovely. Now, I wanted the audience who's going to participate in this course to get a quick understanding of what you're going to be teaching. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I want you all to just give us a casual overview of what the topics are, what will you be teaching, and how does it benefit an organization, especially when it comes to, doing recon on modern attack surfaces. So, I'm going to
Sure.
quickly go ahead and share my screen and let me know.
All right. So while Dhruv is opening the training, I will just quickly introduce myself. Hey guys, my name is Shubham. I have been pentester for pretty much all my life, and now I'm running a company. But apart from that, I also run Recon Village at DefCon. So all you can figure out is I'm quite passionate about Recon and OSINT, and that's the reason we started this training. I'm a firm believer that Recon is a really important phase. I know there are so many recon tools and recon techniques available these days. So I'm happy, recon is getting famous, thanks to a lot of great researchers, bug bounty companies, etc. But the point is, recon is has always been a very important topic, and I've been very passionate about it. So we have kind of combined my passion, Ashwin's passion, Sudhanshu's passion into this training and try to create a training which makes you a better pen tester, makes you a better, infosec professional at your job. But at the same time, we have got Ashwin, who comes with young POV on Recon, while I'm little old school. Ashwin will get you all the new stuff. What's new in there, etc. So over to you, Ashwin. Well, about the training.
Yeah, thanks for that. I'm Ashwin working with Redent Labs, and yeah, this has been a fun training to work on. And we have recently modified this training a bit to add about modern attack surfaces, AI exposures, all the things. Obviously, all the juices are there in this training, but it's not just the juice for hype. We are not just saying AI just for the sake of it. As the AI increases, the usage of AI increases, the exposure is supposed to increase. And that is something that will be constant. Okay, so let me walk you through what this training is about.
Yeah.
And this training is divided into 3 days. The part one is basics. We'll start with the basics on what overall organization looks like from a external external perspective. We are not talking about attack surface. We are not talking about anything. And then we'll start diving deep into the organization from whatever information we have about it. This is a practical approach that we generally take whenever we are looking at an organization during the pen testing. So we start with initial recon, where we are looking at the DNS certificates, IP addresses. We hunt for web application, take screenshots, APIs, everything. And this goes through that following phase that, okay, first I'll identify what's happening, what's there, the breadth of everything that is there, and then correlate the assets that we have found in first phase with multiple other like multiple other organizations that we are targeting. Now, initially, what we used to talk about when we talk about OSINT is just the organization specific assets, their IP addresses, servers, all those things. And now we are seeing surge of two specific things. One is third party software being used in the organization. The SaaS model, the SaaS boom that has happened has left a huge and not just left, is leaving a huge attack surface in the open. Now that has been a thing, and now AI came. Everyone is creating SaaS,
Yeah, of course.
and and that has being increasingly in our even in our scans and the data collection that we do, we have seen exponential increase of like these AI applications, SaaS providers. You, Shubham can talk more on the type of data that we are seeing, and this training will talk about all of that in these 3 days that we have.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks for adding that before, and sorry for hijacking your time, Dhruv. But adding a few more point there.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me about, is Recon or OSINT really that powerful? I mean, it's cool. I would know that, but is it really powerful? And I generally say, well, you can go to HackerOne, you can look at the reports, and you will see how much of that money you could have made just by doing Recon. But if you look at the other side, and I've been talking about this in some of my presentations as well. Well, when everybody says there's a lot of SaaS, I say SaaS is sus. So you got to be very, very sure of, what you're exposing out there. And how do you know that? Well, the CISOs won't tell you, or your customers won't tell you, your companies, your IT admins won't tell you what's out there. You have to find it on your own. And that's why you got to be really, really strong at Recon. We have got, like, not to boast about things, but on the research side, so much of secrets, so much of assets we have seen, and we see it on a daily basis. The stats are alarming, and not just the width of the possibilities, but also the depth of possibilities are pretty alarming. So I would say, how Recon has been shaped by in the last 10 years, it's just amazing, and it is becoming more and more important as things are going more on the internet.
Right. So I do see that, on day two, you were talking about hunting for AI endpoints if an organization is using, also for identifying their Docker containers and snapshots, even intelligence collection, like on GitHub and dark web credentials and leaks and stuff. So these are things that you will be practically demonstrating within the training.
Of course,
Yes.
of course. We will be demonstrating. First of all, we will talk about why this is important. How can you find it as a one-off thing? How can you find it at scale? And most importantly, the piece which is generally not talked about a lot is, how will this small piece of Docker container that you have found,
Right.
how can this actually result into vulnerability chaining and getting compromised on a machine? So one thing is finding it, and second thing is showing an impact from that finding. So it's gonna be end to end, start to end delivery of a small recon leading up to a big vulnerability, and then chaining it, etc., etc. But I'm sure Ashwin is far more passionate about these things, so I'll give him his time for this as well.
So, Ashwin, I have a quick question for you. I've been told that this training is designed in such a way that you actually have a target that you will be
Mhm.
leveraging and doing OSINT on their endpoints and then trying to gather intelligence and then break into that organization. Is that correct?
Yes. So obviously, we don't want to go ahead and attack random companies.
Of course.
So what we have done is created a organization which is a modern organization with all the SaaS, all the modern things that they're doing. Like they're even trying to move into a different space altogether, which you'll see in the training, obviously,
Right.
and how that movement brings in more exposures, more vulnerabilities into the picture. We'll see all those things as well.
Yeah.
But
So
yes,
that
we have a
organization is
yeah,
pretty real. We have tried to kept it as
yeah.
real as possible. I'll give you a good interesting fact that it is so real that we have got funding opportunities for that organization. Like, investors
Yeah.
have fallen for that. We have got people reaching out for sales and stuff. So it's really almost like a real organization.
Yeah.
And then uh, we have tried to put all our experiences of pen testing careers, all our experiences of working on the other side of the firewall, how to defend, and just combine everything to give you as real world experience as possible, and then navigate through it in the training.
Got it.
Yeah.
And day three, I see there is something very interesting. AI assisted offensive recon. So you're creating like a workflow and automating it, which will help the students do it at mass. Is that the strategy for that topic?
Yeah. So there are a bunch of AI assisted frameworks that come every single day. What we are doing is we are doing, obviously, we are not letting it be completely autonomous. So that's why we have written AI assisted. So with that, what we'll show is how AI can be helpful in doing recon, and what are the some like what are some fallbacks that are there where AI does not catch up to that point, and where if you like human in the loop is gonna improve the quality of the results that we have. So AI can do stuff, but being the human in the loop in the process, we are gonna talk about that. We are gonna showcase workflows that will help you in doing recon at much faster and impactful pace that you have not done before.
Oh, lovely. Interesting. It does sound pretty interesting, especially when you have said that, you have a deployed target on which you'll be doing an entire OSINT and then breaking into that. I did
Yeah.
hear, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, but I did hear a
Mhm.
concept where you all had like some data dump that you found and found some webhook keys and broke into Slack and then accessed some
I'll
sensitive.
talk about it offline, of course. But before you kick off the training recording, I just want to add one important point for people. We see everybody talking about AI and everybody
Right.
sprinkling AI on top of your services, which is kind of a buzzword. But it's not just that in this training. Okay, we have broken it down into components where actually AI can leak stuff. So it's not fluff. We are talking real life examples of what are those 9 layers where AI can leak stuff. It could be your credentials, it could be your identities, it could be your infrastructure, it could be your chat GPT prompts, it could be your lovable instances. So we have broken it down, and we talk and give you a demonstration of how really this happens. And then most of the time when we do this training, people are like, oh yeah, I just remembered I shared a chat GPT well, so let me go back and delete it. That's the kind of impact we try to do. So yeah, very interested. And if you are interested to learn recon, you want to up your game, you want to learn how new AI discoveries, etc., could be done, very much welcome for the training. And we would love to not just taking it in the lecture style, but more on a conversational way of making you better at your job.
Yeah. Lovely. One quick question. So, what is one of the craziest thing that you've done in your lab that you're really proud of and which people enjoy the most?
I think Ashwin
Uh,
has been
yeah.
playing with the lab for some time, so I'll let him answer.
Yes. So one of the most craziest thing that people enjoy a lot, and at the end of that, people are like, "Oh damn!" So it is not just any single vulnerability. We have created a real life scenario where it was also sometime back into DEFCON CTF that we have created. It's a chain of vulnerabilities which eventually lead to complete takeover, and that comes from initial recon. And if you have not done the initial part of the recon, you will never be able to complete that exercise or the lab that's there. So that shows the entire impact of our training, and that's one of my favorite train labs that's there. And
That's true.
whenever I do that, I always have a big smile on my face whenever I do that, and I
Uh,
get to see the people's reactions on that.
I think
Love.
I think we created that lab as an exercise in the training, and then we thought it's pretty cool, so
Yeah.
we implemented the same lab, like obviously different endpoints, to DefCon CTF in Recon Village, and then for 2 years nobody solved it. So then we kind of, but it was obviously solvable. It was not
Yeah.
it was definitely a solvable problem. It was pretty cool how Recon can solve this.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. So thank you so much, guys. I think this is quite interesting. So, guys, Shubham and Ashwin are going to be delivering the training on OSINT with us at Byte3con. So, if you are interested, do shout out, do send us a message, and we'll hook you up. It's an online event happening between September 17th to 19th. So, let me know
Awesome.
if you have anything. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining in. Cheers. Take care.